Back at you again for another preview video where we'll be looking at Arsenal taking on Manchester City in the Premier League this Sunday. So I had a long, hard think about this and I thought to myself, Man City are clear ahead of every other team currently in the league, right? They are also unbeaten in 16 games in the league. Not to mention, they've won every game since their draw at West Brom back in December 2015 last year. So what's the point of doing this video? Because clearly they're gonna smash us, aren't they? So please like, subscribe, and take care, guys. There's no point of doing this video. So yeah, all the best. But of course I'm taking a piss. Video needs to be done. Anyways, let's get straight into it. Win or lose, you never know anyway. Things just might work out our way and God might be with us on Sunday and hopefully we do get a result, but the likelihood of that happening is, yeah, very slim, very slim. But anyways, let's get straight into some of the all-important stats. So Arsenal have lost their last 7 league games against Man City. It's just getting worse, ain't it? The more stats I read, the more I'm sort of saying it's just looking more and more bleak. Since losing 2-1 at the Emirates in December 2015, Man City are unbeaten in the last 10 Premier League meetings with Arsenal, scoring at least twice in 9 of those games. I mean, what is the point of doing this video? Okay, surely, come on, internet, provide me some hope, yeah? Arsenal have failed to score in their last 3 home games against Man City, losing each time. I think, yeah, I'm just going to stop reading all these stats because it's just getting more and more depressing. Maybe if we were to look at the Premier League table, nah, that's not going to provide any hope either, but at least this sort of provides us to where we currently are. I know Leeds last night lost against Wolves 1-0, which, to be fair, I thought they were unfortunate with that. Man City, obviously, clearly up there. Bright green W's everywhere. The only team in the league currently have 5 wins in the last 5 games. If we sort of scroll down, there we are, sat comfortably in 10th. Bearing in mind, yes, Wolverhampton Wanderers have played a game more than us. So yeah, we are 10th, and a win is unlikely to push us ahead unless Tottenham lose their game in hand and they lose their following game after that. So in terms of league, I'm not fussed, and all the signs are obviously pointing towards a Man City win. So that brings us interestingly into what lineup would I play? Because is it really worth us deploying a strong team and, you know, risking key players who have just recently returned from injury like Kieran Tierney? I wouldn't do that. But we'll get into my lineup anyway. So this is a lineup I'd like to see Arteta play, a realistic lineup, obviously. Hence why I've not got Balogun and players that I would obviously have in the lineup. But gone for I'm not gone for 3 at the back. I just don't want to go for 3 at the back because we're gonna lose either way, and I'd rather lose interestingly than lose boringly. So I know I sound like I have no hope for this, do I? I'm sorry if there are Arsenal fans out there who have had some hope going into this game, and then you come across this video and all of a sudden I've just put all those hopes down. I apologize, but you know, it's just time and time again Arsenal just sort of put me down constantly that I don't really have much faith, and in particular this season, can you really blame me? Anyways, getting back to the predicted lineup, Bernardo, because he's our number 1, obvious reasons. On with Bellerina, this time as a right back and not a left back. You see, he played decent enough to reward his spot at right back, even though Cedric, for me, was the better fullback because he got that assist. And yes, Bellerina played well, but we have to bear in mind Cedric is playing out of position. But for the time being, let Bellerina have his right back spot. I'm not going to hate on him this video, yeah? See, I can sort of give props where it's due. So Bellerina, for the time being, you hold your right back spot until KT's back. And I don't want to see KT being risked for this game. I just feel like the Benfica game during midweek is a lot more important than the league, where ultimately I don't see us getting European spot that way. So in terms of the centre back, I decided to give David Luiz a rest and opt with Rob Holding and teaming up with Gabriel. Still don't know what's going on with Pablo Marie, if there's still this injury or what's inserted in this clause of his that we have to pay out some sort of fee to Flamengo after certain appearances. But whatever that situation is, just sort it out, please. So hopefully we can give Gabriel a bit of a breather and then play Pablo Marie. But ultimately, I've gone with Gabriel because of the uncertainty with Pablo Marie. But if Pablo Marie is fit enough to start and there's no financial situation that will prevent him from starting, then obviously Marie will start for me. Cedric, because KT for me still needs a rest. Moving on to midfield. Likewise, I'm not going to risk Thomas Partey because it's just not worth it. He's such a key figure for this team. And I think what we saw on Thursday night is how poor Granit Xhaka is. And a lot of people previously have been sort of saying, making excuses for Thursday's game, saying that he didn't have Thomas Partey. But the way I look at things, a great player isn't relying on other players being around him. They can make things happen by themselves. Thomas Partey dominated the midfield against Manchester United with Mohamed El Nene in midfield. You see, that's the difference of levels. Granit Xhaka, we make too many excuses for him. Oh, he needs a DM, he needs this, he needs that. Same excuses we provided Ozil for many years. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Oh, Ozil needs a fast-paced striker. Look, he's working with Giroud. Oh, we should have had Ozil in his prime when Oba was in his prime at the same time, and then we could have seen the best out of Ozil. And yeah, to a certain extent, I can see that logic. But however, I've always said, to be a great player, you have no, dependencies. You can do it on yourself. So for me, Granit Xhaka again shows how much we need a massive upgrade on him. Yeah, by all means, Granit Xhaka will give you decent games throughout the season, but he's not that player. If this is why I always ask about Arsenal fans, what do we want? Do we want to compete, or are we content with the status quo? And if it's the latter, fair. Let's keep Granit Xhaka. But if we want to go and challenge, we're going to have to upgrade players like Xhaka, players like Bellerina, players like Holden, players like Cedric. You know, some people might sit here and think, oh, I'm just trying to, request or demand too much. Even Lacquer is not good enough if we really want to challenge. So that's the thing I always ask about our fans. Just, sit there and ask yourself, what sort of club do you envision Arsenal being? Is it a club that competes? And if that is the case, then ask yourself, are these players good enough? Forget the, a few games here and there. Overall, consistently, are they good enough? And the answer is, if you're honest with yourself, no. So why do we continue to back them? And this is why sometimes we might have to step back a bit to understand and evaluate what we want from the club. And then that might make us more wiser in fully analyzing some of these players and if we believe that they're good enough or not. But my assessment on Xhaka, not good enough. If we want to be a mid-table club or a club that, sits between fourth and eighth, yeah, great player, decent player. Would I have him as a backup squad player? Yeah, I'd have him as a squad player but in terms of, is he a player to push us forward to challenge? No. And that's why I would like to sort of see a Yves Basuma or someone of that ilk in with a Thomas Partey and perhaps a Jack Grealish ahead of them, because I can see that free pivot challenging for the title. And that's why it might sound I'm being highly ambitious, but I'm just thinking about what is the best for our club and what type of players do we need to be back to where we belong. But I went on a massive tangent there, but Granit Xhaka is in my team, and that's because Thomas Partey won't be risked. Danny Ceballos, on the other hand, again, I always say this: you either get a bit of brilliant magic or frustration. And it's like Ceballos, this is why I would not pay the 25 million fee that's touted about for him. No, no, no. 15 million? Yeah, I'd pay that. 25, too excessive, not for me. But based on this game, play Ceballos. I really think these next few weeks or months is very important for Ceballos and his future. And that will all determine whether he goes back to Madrid and if he's sold elsewhere, or whether he stays at Arsenal and we make the transfer permanent. And another player who's similar position, and that's Martin Odegaard. I've gone with Odegaard because I've always said Emil Smith Rowe is going to be our main player. I do not want Odegaard to come into the team and disrupt his development. Emil Smith Rowe playing out on the wide recently, it's not what I wanted the purpose of Odegaard coming into the club. He should not be preventing his development. He should, you know what I mean, be learning. Emil Smith Rowe should be learning from Odegaard, and they need to be sort of complementing each other. So for me, Arteta trying to shoehorn both players in the team, not for me. I think, anyways, Smith Rowe, his engine looks a bit, tired. So maybe give him this breather, and then we can play Emil Smith Rowe in that number 10 position instead of Odegaard against Benfica. But based on this game, I would go ahead with Odegaard. Up front, it was difficult because I know I'm going to sound hypocritical here by not playing Pepe because I've been saying he does not warrant not being played because he had three amazing games in a row and then one mediocre game gets dropped when there's so many players within our squad that are just piss poor week in, week out, and yet they always manage to get into the team. So for me, it's with a heavy heart that I've had to go ahead with Saka over Pepe, but that's just because Saka is the man of the moment. We can't drop Saka, so Saka needs to play, and I've gone I've gone with Martinelli instead, and that's because I think Pepe's speed and trickery will be very key against Benfica with their high press defensive, with the high press defenders, and we can exploit those gaps in behind. And I think Pepe will be key in that. So I'm opting to rest Pepe for this game. Maybe bring it, give him half an hour, just freshen him up a bit for that Benfica game. But I'd go with Martinelli. And I'm going to go with Laka. Yes, Alba's not being punished, by the way, because even though, yes, he missed key opportunities, one thing I did see, which was very encouraging from Alba's play, was that he was at least getting to these positions. Remember when he was going through those that long spell without a goal? He just wasn't bothered, wasn't making a run. At least he's finding himself into these positions. And yes, he's not scoring, but that's encouraging signs. So for me, I've only gone with Laka because I feel as if he sort of hold up, link up play, bringing in Martinelli and Saka would prove beneficial against Man City. However, I think Alba's pace will be better against Benfica, so I'm gonna rest Alba for the Benfica game. So that's my predicted lineup. In terms of my prediction, yeah, I'm gonna go with a 3-1 win to Man City. Yes, I hate predicting losses, but I'm just gonna have to be real, and that's the honest truth. But anyway, guys, thank you as always for listening to me, and as always, please like, subscribe. Until next time, all the best, guys.